Okay, aromatic hydrocarbons, lahat nito ay mayroong benzene ring and or rather these are benzene and benzene compound or benzene derivatives. Okay, so wala nang triple bond. Okay, this is not a cycloalkane. This is not a cycloalkene or cycloalkyne. Rather, this is an aromatic hydrocarbon with the benzene ring. And benzene ring is a 6 carbon atoms with 6 hydrogens. Okay, with an alternating double bond. Okay, ano ibig sabihin alternating? So, ditong carbon atom meron, tas doon wala. Then, dyan meron, tas doon wala. Okay, and then, meron, tas doon wala. Okay, so, alternating double bond. Okay, ito yung alternating double bond. This is not a cyclohexane, or cyclohexene. Rather, this is known as benzene, C6H6. Okay, because of this alternating double bond, kahit saan pwede ditong mag-start basta alternating, okay, pwede nating isulat na hexagon with a circle in the middle, okay, in the center. Now, how are you going to name that benzene derivatives if there's now the substituents now? Okay, so if substituents are halogens, just name it as, so if this is the benzene ring, and ang hindi kasama dun sa benzene ring ay ito, chlorine, so therefore that would be named as chlorobenzene. This is the benzene, and ang hindi na isama sa kanya ay yan, so that would be chlorobenzene. This is iodobenzene. Now, bago itong NO2 collectively known as nitro. So, kalilimutan. NO2 is nitro and this part is benzene. So, simple as that. If there's only one substituent. Okay? Now, if there's only one substituent, however, merong mga special name. Okay? This is a methyl group and and this is the benzene. But usually, we do not name it as methylbenzene. Rather, we named it as collectively known as toluene. This is NH2, that is amino group. Okay, magkaiba si amino, magkaiba si nitro. Nitro is NO2, amino is NH2. However, this aminobenzene will have a special name na mas ginagamit natin, and that is aniline. This is hydroxy group, and this is the benzene ring. So this is hydroxybenzene. However, the special name is phenol. This is carboxy, COOH, or if you're going to expand this one, that is C double bond O, and then you have OH. So that's COOH. That is carboxybenzene. However, we are going to use benzoic acid. There's a space there. That's two words, benzoic acid. Okay. Okay. Another example. Okay, another special name is benzene sulfonic acid. If you're going to have SO3H, that is benzene sulfonic acid. Then if you have CHO, CHO is written as C double bond OH. Okay? So, basta pag nakakita kayo ng CHO, ito yung expanded form niya. And that would be named as benzaldehyde. And you have OCH3 here, or this is known as methoxy, but this one as a special name, these two will have collectively known as anisole. Okay? So, wag kalilimutan yung mga special names. Okay, now, if there are two groups that are being attached to the benzene ring that are identical, they are the same, okay, we can make use of the ortho, meta, and para positions. Pag sinabing ortho or O, ibig sabihin nasa 1 and 2. Ito, 1 and 2. Dun sa benzene ring, okay, di ba 6 carbon atom yan, pag nanumberan yan, pag magkatabi, that is 1 and 2. Okay, kapag dadalawa lang sila. Okay, and then we also have 1 and 3. Okay, so for 1 and 3, dito naman. Dito yung 3. Okay, ito, 1 and 3. And for para position, it is 1 and 4. 1 and 4. Okay, so there are 3 possible positions if there are only 2 substituents. Ortho, meta, and para. Okay, so for this first example, it is on the first and second carbon atom of that benzene ring. They are the same bromo, so we are using a name, or we are going to have the name ortho dibromobenzene, or just simply put O dibromobenzene. Okay? For this case, as you could see, yung ortho and the di has been separated with a dash. Pero ang rule natin, di ba, ang dash ay used to separate word from a number. Even for a fact that ortho is a word, but we all know that ortho means a 1-2 position, so that is indicating a number. Okay, so if we are making use of this ortho, meta, and para, we are referring to these numbers 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 4. So we are using dash to separate them from the other words. Okay, because they are treated as a number. Okay, then 1, 4, 1, 3 is meta. So meta dibromobenzene. And then this is 1, 4 dibromo, para dibromobenzene, or P. Okay. Now, if there are still 2 groups and none of them has a special name, so you have to just write them alphabetically with the ending benzene. So this is iodo, this is bromo, so therefore that is para bromo iodo. Mauuna muna si bromo bago iodo, and then the word benzene. Okay? Okay, we also have meta chloro nitrobenzene. This is the nitro, this is the chloro. It is on the 1, 3 position, so we could make use of meta. And then we have to arrange alphabetically the names of this substituent. So chloro first before the nitro, and then the word benzene. So meta chloro nitro benzene. Now, paano kapag one of the substituents or group being attached to the benzene ring has a special name? So we have to assume that those with that special substituent will be at carbon number 1. So this is a methyl in the benzene ring. So this is collectively known as toluene. It's not methyl benzene, rather it is toluene. And then, what is not included in this group is the O2. So, we have to name that one. That is nitro. Okay, so, they are on ortho position, so that is ortho-nitrotoluene. Okay? This OH with the benzene ring has a special name, and that is phenol. Okay? What is not included in the phenol is this group, bromo, so therefore that is bromophenol. And they are on the 1,4 position, or para. So therefore this is para-bromophenol. Okay? These two has a special name in the form of benzoic acid. What is not included in the structure of benzoic acid is this one, NO2. NO2 will have a name of nitro, so therefore this structure will have nitrobenzoic acid with space here, and they are on the meta. So 1, 3. Meta position. Okay? And then you have NH2 with a benzene ring is collectively known as aniline. What is not included in the aniline's name is this one. So, but we have to name it, that is iodo. And they are on ortho. 1, 2, 1. So, ortho iodo aniline. So, that's how you're going to name if there is a special name. And that special name will be assuming carbon number 1. So this is carbon number 1. That would be carbon number 1. Okay. Now, what about if there are still two substituent, however, both of them has special name. So if I am going to name this is benzoic acid. However, if I'm going to choose this one, it is phenol. However, sabi na, but we have listing here. COOH will have the highest priority over the CHO, then followed by the OH, then the amino, and then you have the CH3. Okay, so kapag magkakasama itong mga to, so this one, pwede kasi itong benzoic acid, pwede rin din naman kasing itong phenol. Okay, so ano ang mas priority? Mas priority daw natin yung COOH. Okay? So kapag mas priority natin ang COOH, then therefore, okay, this benzene ring with the COOH will be collectively known as benzoic acid. Hindi na tayo maglalagay ng phenol na word. Kasi nga, nakuha na yung benzene ring with the COOH. So, ang hindi na lang napapangalanan ay itong part na to. Okay? And that part is known as hydroxy. And so this one is carbon number 1 and that's carbon number 2. So they're going to have an ortho position, and that is ortho hydroxy benzoic acid. Okay? This one will become aniline, pero this is also phenol. So anong mas priority? Is it aniline or phenol? Pero sabi dito sa listing natin, mas priority ang OH kaysa sa NH2. Okay? So therefore, phenol has priority. So this one, that 2 is phenol. Ang hindi pa lang napapangalanan ay this part. And that is amino. So therefore, that is meta-amino-phenol. Why meta? Because they are on 1 and 3 position. Now, if there are more than 2 groups, you have to number them in such a way, clockwise or counterclockwise, for as long as you have to come up with the lowest combination of number or lowest position. So here, you could have, for this case, either left or clockwise or counterclockwise. So if it's going to start here, that's 1, and then 3 and 5. So 1, 3, and 5. If we start, okay, okay, but for this case, we have to consider which one has the priority over this substituents. We have halogens here and a nitro. So nitro has priority over the halogen, so we have to indicate position carbon number 1 for nitro, and we start from then the numbering system left clockwise or counterclockwise. But we have to do it clockwise so that the first encountered substituent bromo, which is alphabetically alphabetical priority over chlorine, will have the third, and chlorine will only have the fifth. So therefore, this is 3-bromo 5-chloro nitro benzene. Okay. So if there are of the same substituents, we are using prefixes di di if there are two, tri if there are three similar substituent, tetra if there are four, penta if there's five, hexa if there are six, and so on. Okay, so for this case, this is 1, 2, 4 tribromobenzene. Okay. If there are two or three or more substituents that are being attached to the benzene ring, you have to know which one is the priority group. So may listing tayo kanina. So for this case, the hydroxyl will have a priority over the nitro. So therefore, the hydroxyl will get carbon number 1. And once it gets the carbon number 1, it will have now the special name. So this one is, since hydroxyl is the priority, it will get the benzene ring, and that would be collectively known as phenol. Ang hindi na isama dun sa phenol, what is not included in the phenol is the chloro, and that's on carbon number 2 because hydroxyl is on carbon number 1. So that's the 2-chloro. And then that nitro is on carbon number 4. So that therefore that is 2-chloro 4-nitrophenol. Okay. Then you have it here, the nitro, a methyl group, and a nitro. Okay. So by default, the methyl group will have the priority over the nitro. So it will have the special name. So that's the priority. Since it's a priority dyan sa kanyang carbon number 1. Okay. And then you have to count, number it from clockwise rather, such that this would be carbon number 2 and that would be carbon number 6. Okay, so that one is the toluene. So yung CH3 with the benzene is the toluene. Ang hindi pa napapangalanan is the nitro, and that would be 2,6-dinitrotoluene. Okay. Here, the amino has priority over the halogen. So therefore, we start the numbering to the with the amino group. So it will have carbon number 1. And since it is the priority, the name of this is collectively known as aniline. And then we have bromo here. So 2,4,6 tribromo aniline. So always bear in mind that if there are many substituents being attached to the parent chain, look for the priority group, and it will have it will have the position carbon number 1. Then from there you start numbering clockwise or counterclockwise for as long as you come up with the lowest set of locants.